Rhodes Show.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has been appallingly derelict in doing anything to fight the pandemic, from prioritizing Regeneron pop-up clinics over vaccinations to declaring open war on educators looking to protect the state's school children. But he's also made it harder for some Floridians to survive financially, rejecting federal economic aid left and right. As COVID has raged across the Sunshine State this summer, DeSantis touted a return to business as usual. He joined the cavalcade of Republican governors prematurely cutting off federal enhanced unemployment assistance, claiming it was deterring people from getting back to work in a pandemic that has savaged Florida's service and tourism industry. So to what jobs, Governor? He didn't say. The Washington Post notes that the cruel blocking of jobless aid to struggling Floridians came just as the Delta variant began pummeling the state. But it would seem the cruelty is the point.
Yes.
After all, your health is secondary to the economy. Am I right? It doesn't stop there. DeSantis also refused to reinstate a moratorium on evictions as the federal ban was set to end at the end of July. Perhaps he doesn't understand that homelessness makes pandemics worse. Or maybe he does and he just doesn't care. The Tampa Bay Times found that at that point, the state had only distributed 2% of federal rent assistance, with hundreds of millions still on the table. Now, as Governor Death Santis, as he's known by his critics, continues to push to infect the Sunshine State's children with his dangerous and stupefying mask mandate ban, he's also allowing children in need to go hungry. The DeSantis administration has yet to apply for up to $820 million in federal food assistance dollars for more than 2 million Florida kids. That's on top of the $280 million a month lost for federal SNAP benefits recipients after he allowed the state's pandemic state of emergency fund to expire in June. Apparently, DeSantis has been just too busy declaring war on school districts over masks to find the time to ask for hundreds of millions of federal dollars for kids who missed meals because they weren't going to school.
That is Ron Death Sentence, Joy. You look great, by the way. I don't know what she's doing, but whatever she's doing, keep doing that. She looks so good. Incredible. But yeah, this is exactly the example that you should understand when I say Republicans refuse to govern. There is money, for federal dollars, not state dollars, federal dollars that have been appropriated to each state, including Florida, okay? And Ron Death Sentence has decided not to even apply for $820 million federal dollars that are just sitting on a table waiting for him to go and take them. That money is to add funds to EBT cards for parents whose children can't go to school or didn't go to school over the summer where they were getting their meals. Now, we did do it last year, but this year, Ron Death Sentence has decided not to apply for it. And this in the middle of the fourth, fifth, 10th wave of COVID, which he lied about and continues to lie about and doesn't report the daily numbers so we can orient ourselves, and is threatening teachers and school superintendents and supervisors of the boards with cutting off their funding if they insist that children be masked for their own protection in schools, which are notorious petri dishes for everything from flus to colds to viruses. The mung that the kids bring home. Everybody knows, whoever had a kid in school, that as soon as the kid starts in pre-K, or as soon as the kid starts in daycare, or as soon as the kid starts, in kindergarten, the mung comes home. Everybody gets sick in the house. The kid is coughing and sniffling and blah, 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 because it's a petri dish. Oh, well, Ron Death Sentence doesn't want them to mask up, so I guess this is why he's holding back their school lunch funding, which goes on the parents' EBT card to help them feed their kids when they're not in school. I guess he thinks that the napkin from the lunch could be used by a smart kid to fashion a mask. And that would be bad. Yeah, the pandemic electronic benefit transfer, that is what she's talking about, that he didn't apply for. It's $820 million federal dollars that all you need to do is ask for, and it's yours. And then it goes to parents. It's an extra $375 to help pay for kids' meals over the summer or when they're not in school. Okay? That's what it's literally $7 a day extra. Now, you have to understand that the SNAP recipients here in the state, they have been prohibited from getting an additional $375, okay, from this federal fund that he won't apply for. He's just leaving this money on the table, but there's also another $280 a month available to residents of Florida in SNAP benefits that he won't distribute. And remember, he stopped unemployment, the enhanced unemployment benefits, back in June. And now here we are in the middle of a COVID, a crazy surge where we have like 19% positivity rates, and the R naught rate for like how many. Okay, there's two numbers that are really important when you're trying to understand the environment in which you're operating for COVID. One's the R naught number. What does that number mean? Well, that's the number of people a positive person can infect with this particular variant. So for compares, the Alpha variant had an R naught of 2. That meant one person could infect 2 other people. That's why it was a pandemic. This Delta variant has an R naught of 5. That means one infected person can infect 5 other people. That's why they say it's so contagious. They look at the R naught number and they say, oh my God, one infected person is going to infect 5 people. The other number is the positivity rate. What does that mean? Well, that means how many people who are tested test positive. Here in Florida, it's like 19% of our population that's getting tested is testing positive. So if 20% of the people can infect another 5 people each, you got yourself a hell of a pandemic. And he has cut off SNAP benefits. He has chosen